What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm having some pizza and some salad, so let's get into it. Okay guys, today I'm having some pizza and I have a story time for you guys today. I got a request for stories, so I'm gonna do it. My pup is like hovering. So I couldn't decide whether I wanted a Hawaiian pizza or if I wanted a Diablo pizza, so I kind of combined the two. It's basically pineapple and some hot cherry peppers. I also made some bacon and I put that on there as well, and some cheese. So yeah, that's what's on there. Here I just have some butter lettuce mix and I put some pickled vegetables on it. So I'm really excited for that too. I'm just gonna cut this pizza. Okay. So before I get into story, I am just going to try all this stuff because, let's be honest, I'm starving right now and I know you guys want to see this. So here is my pizza. We got some deliciousness on there. Wow, that is so good. You guys gotta try that. Hi, baby. Come here. Hi. Take her collar off so it's not so loud. You can't have it. No. No pizza for you. I have to have another bite of this. So good. Yeah, guys, she's not old enough to know. Well, she does know, but she's really not that old enough to know that she's not getting any pizza. We don't give her people food, but it's not going to stop her from trying, you know what I'm saying? This is the triple berry sparkling seltzer. Oh, so good. I'm gonna try this salad. I have some ranch here. The first time I tried the pickled vegetables over my salad was when I went to California this past year. I went to this little Italian place. So good. I pretty much like anything pickled. Yum. Okay. So, today I'm going to be talking about how when I was 18 years old, I packed up all my stuff, maybe I was 19, packed up all my stuff in my little Volkswagen Jetta and drove all the way across the country to move to Utah from Connecticut. Yes, it was awesome. But when I think back about it, I just think it was kind of crazy. If you guys have been watching my channel for a bit, you know that I moved around a lot, and I just kind of feel like I'm not scared to move anywhere. So when I was that age, I was just like, F it, you know? Mm. Mm. So, at this time, I was going to school. Yeah, more school. I started out in culinary school. I decided to do that because my dad was a chef. Mm. And I had a lot of passion for cooking. And my initial plan was to go to culinary school and then go to school to be a registered dietitian. Mm. This is important to the story, guys. So, I basically started school, and then I met a boy who was starting college, and he was going to Utah. So, we started talking, and we started dating, and I knew he was leaving, like, no big deal. I was in the middle of school. He was going to go to school. But he asked me to move out there with him. So I kind of figured out a way to transfer all my stuff over there. Because I had spoken to the dean of the school, and she said, yeah, I could just transfer over all my stuff and finish school there. And so I did. Mm. Mm. So I figured out a way to get all my stuff transferred, right? And I had a friend in culinary school who told me that he had to drive out there anyways. So he would help me drive, and he would loan me money to so I could have money while I was out there, because I didn't have any money at the time. I was just going to school, and I was working in a kitchen, and I didn't make that much money. So, so I packed up everything in my car, and literally my mom did not stop me at all. When I tell you guys, I basically had zero guidance besides moral standards. I'm serious. I was never pushed to go to college. I was never pushed to do anything with myself. Basically, my entire life was I lived in West Virginia, and we really didn't have much going on. And then when we moved to Connecticut, it was whoa, here's life. There's so much stuff going on, and outside of our little bubble. And I don't know if that's because I was from there or because I just grew up like that, but I packed all my stuff in my car, and we drove out to Utah in a stick shift that did not have cruise control. So you can imagine we did it in 2 days. And yeah, he was a really good friend that I had known in culinary school, and he was really trying to help me out. And I did pay him back a few months later. And so when I went out there, I got I got into an apartment for culinary school out there. Mm. I was with a bunch of girls in this apartment. It was kind of sucky though, because obviously you can imagine living with 3 other girls wasn't that fun. At least for me, it's not. I don't know about anybody else, but if they're not your good friends, it's probably not going to be, a fun-filled living experience. especially since, I don't know, there's like, some people out there that had like religious views and stuff like that. And I'm fine with that. People can believe what they want. I believe what I believe, but I don't like it being pushed on me. Like, I totally respect you. Like, that's great. But I don't want you pushing your stuff on me. Like, I have to be like you if I want to hang out with you. Like, no. Just appreciate people for who they are and have a wide variety of friends. So that was interesting that time that I lived with those girls. But so after I moved out there, I had my place. I lived in Sandy, which is like right outside of Salt Lake City. And I finished a couple classes because I was going to get my associates now instead of just my certificate. Those pineapples are so juicy. So after I finished a few classes, I ended up, I was going to start back on my culinary classes, right? So I go to talk to the dean. That's who I spoke to before I actually moved out there. And she wasn't there. So they gave me her phone number and I called her. She calls me back and she leaves a message. This is probably after one semester. And she says to me, I'm not going to be the dean anymore of the school. So good luck. Like, you have to talk to the president about transferring all your stuff. You guys, if you knew how much money, you probably do, how much money goes into schooling and having someone promise you something and then taking it away after you've already been there doing it, and moving all the way across the country on top of it. I wanted to kill her. Like, how unprofessional are you? Like, she probably got fired because she was so unprofessional, to be honest. So they weren't gonna let me transfer anything in, so they were gonna make me start all over again when I was almost done here in Connecticut. Hell no. No. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. That was not happening. I got in contact with the president, obviously. Told them that they lied to me. They weren't being honest, and I wanted my money back. So that was interesting. After I had been there, and since I wasn't going to be enrolled in the school anymore, I moved out. I got my own apartment. And I moved up to Ogden. It's like an onion, a pickled onion. Good. I feel like butter lettuce is my favorite. It's so fluffy. So I moved to Ogden. I got a job as a vet assistant. And so I was working full time. Well, my boyfriend at the time was going to college. And so basically, this guy and I, our relationship was super toxic, big time. So he basically blackmailed me into making him stay with me. And I don't say blackmailing like, oh, he made me do it. Because when you care about a person, you know, you want to accommodate them. You want to help them out and stuff like that. But he was totally taking advantage of me. I'll tell you why. When summertime came around, he goes, I can either live with you for the summer and not pay rent, or, which honestly at the time I didn't mind, because I cared about him, obviously, and I probably would do anything for people I care about. Either it makes me naive or something else, I don't know, but basically he made it seem like I had an ultimatum. So he could either come back to Connecticut for the summer, and I didn't know anybody out there. So I would, well, that was near me at the time. So I would just be out there by myself working. Or he could live with me rent-free and not get a job or anything like that. I don't know why he didn't get a job, but I was like, okay, you can move in with me. It's like not a problem. So he did. He moved in with me. I continued working. And he just like stayed home all day. I didn't do anything. Yeah. So one day I decide that I'm going to go back to school. And I didn't know really what I was going to do yet. And there was a school right down the street. So I'm like, you know, I should still continue what I'm doing, even if I'm going to be out here for a few years. I should still continue what I'm doing. So I started school. The bacon is so crispy. There's some spiciness from the jalapenos. I have some Frank's Red Hot. I'm going to put some on that too. Kind of feel like I like spice. Oh yeah. So at the time I was waiting for my tax return to get a laptop because I didn't have one. And so he would let me use his computer sometimes for my classes. So one day I go to use his computer and I see a bunch of things on there that shouldn't be on there. And I wasn't snooping either. It was just in the bar, and I think he just forgot to erase everything. So I clicked on it, and it was just a bunch of like profiles made off of nasty websites. And I actually got to read some of the conversations that he was having with these girls. I caught him, pretty much, cheating on me with webcam stuff. Woo. And I wouldn't say cheating like lightly, because it's one thing if you're I don't even know if I can say that word, but it's one thing if you're watching that stuff. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're too young to be on my channel, by the way. So it's one thing to be watching that stuff, like, I don't care about that, whatever, no big deal. But when you start talking to other women, and you're flirting with them, and you're doing webcam stuff with them, you know, I don't even know if he was meeting these girls. I don't know, I have no idea. But in any way, shape, or form, that's cheating to me. You're not being faithful, you're lying to me, get out. I kicked him out. And he had a cousin over there. So he went to go live with him and work. But it got to the point where he was like saying sorry and all this stuff, and I believed him because I was a dumbass. And I let him come back. So at that point, I think our relationship was pretty toxic. Obviously, there's two sides to it, but it actually started to become physical. We eventually got another apartment together, and at this time, it was, I think, he was working too. But I caught him doing the same thing again. And then this time it was like on his phone. So it's just like, I don't know, if you can't trust somebody, you kind of want to stay away from them. So I ended up moving back to Connecticut. It was a very interesting time in my life, to say the least. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to do something like that, I would say go for it, but definitely have a plan B, because everything that you think is going to happen is not going to happen. I've moved probably, I can't even count how many times I've moved, honestly. Different states, different towns, different everywhere. And also, if you're going to try and do something for a boyfriend or girlfriend, just make sure that it's also what you want to. That way it's not like you did all this stuff for that one person and then they took advantage of you, or you did all this stuff for nothing. And it really wasn't for nothing, honestly. I don't think I'd be who I am today if I didn't do all the crazy stuff I did when I was younger. And it wasn't necessarily dangerous or anything, but it was definitely the wrong path that I was going down. And it's just you have to learn, you know? You gotta grow up. When you're 19, you really don't know. Like, you think you know, but you really need a lot more life experiences and heartache and happy moments and responsibilities. Even though I had my own apartment, I was working, I had my own car, I was doing everything on my own, I still did not have that experience in my life to make good decisions. It also doesn't mean that like people can't change or anything like that, because I did talk to him years later, and he apologized and obviously knew that he was wrong. So it's not like, you know, when you're kids and you do silly things, you mean it forever. It's just, you know, you go through phases of your life and, you know, certain situations. Cauliflower, pickled, really good. If you're one of those people who did something in their past and regret it or whatever, just know that like you can change anything you want about your life. You can do anything you want, and you don't have to be down on yourself because you made mistakes. Pepperoncini. I actually did get in trouble with the cops out there, but that's for another story time. I'll tell you guys about it. It was pretty crazy. Got in trouble with the law. So maybe I'll save that one for next time, but I'm going to wrap this up, guys. This I'm going to save because that pizza was huge and I'm super full. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.